Today I'm going to be installing this GE Smart Whole Home filtration system for the house. We live off of well water, and I just am now getting around to finally putting some filter on the water. Looking through the box, there are really only a few pieces. It comes with some shark bites, got a power cord for the actual smart part, you got the head. Here you have a bracket, and you really have the canister. The filter's not included. It also comes with that mounting template. I'm planning to install this filter above the water softener. Where I'm standing right now, I plan to put a new water heater. So the best spot's really here. So we're just marking where the stud is so we can bolt this thing to the wall. I'm going to grab the template, kind of line the template up where I marked. It's worth noting this template actually gives you cut patterns if you were going to be going in line between water pipe, but right now we're going to come out of the well. It's at this point that I'm realizing I've missed the stud, and now I'm pretty much contemplating how I failed that. I moved the guide over just a little bit, re-drilling a pilot hole, and then we're going to mount the actual unit to the wall. The system's designed to have 4 holes, 4 mounting points, but since I'm going directly in a stud and it doesn't weigh that much, I'm just doing the part that lines up with the stud. Now we're going to get the PEX out. I'm using this to actually connect basically in line to my water. I'm using a basic conduit cutter. I normally use this on PVC, but it's working great for the PEX. And then we're going to use these shark bites. Talk through this real quick. This is actually a complete failure. So reading the directions, they want you to take this shark bite and they want you to push it all the way past the midpoint. The reason for this is actually when you line it up, if you were putting this to a water pipe that was in line, you have to over connect it, put the filter in place, and then move it back through. I didn't know this at the time, and you'll see here in a minute that this was a pain. I wish I had just put it on halfway like you normally would. I'm also attempting to use these nifty right angle connectors for the PEX. The PEX doesn't really bend that well. The thought is that with this, I'll have a slightly cleaner look down. I actually end up abandoning them. The other thing to note, this is the actual head unit itself. This part in the back has the inlet and the outlet of the water. It actually rotates to fit your needs, so if your inlet's on the left or the right, you can spin it. It also works top and bottom. I'm just mounting the rest of the bracket plate to it. Pretty much just push this onto the mounting plate we mounted a minute ago, put a couple of screws in, and it's basically installed to the wall. So the plan is to take this PEX that I have the shark bite already attached, put it up here to the side, and just push the connector on. It actually proves to be almost impossible the way I've done this. The goal is you're supposed to use their PEX connector tool, or it's really a shark bite connector tool. That tool is actually a shark bite removal tool, but that's because in theory what you're doing is you're removing the shark bite from this. After failing miserably, I gave up for the night and came back the next day. I'm actually going to remove the entire head. I'm going to use the tool to move the shark bites back halfway the way I would have done it. Again, doing this over, I would have only connected the shark bite connector halfway. So now that I have these on, I'm going to remount the unit. So we're going to turn the home water off. This is the water coming out of the pressure tank. And then I'm going to go into the house and just make sure there's no more water in the lines. So the plan here is to go in line between the well pressure tank, go up there, come out through, and then come back into the water softener. So I'm just going to cut off this connector, this right angle right here. And then the goal is you just attach shark bite connectors. These I had to buy. These don't come with the system. The shark bites that were with it are simply to connect to the actual head. I find the shark bite system was incredibly easy. I didn't have to get the actual PEX adapter kit or whatever that takes to do that. At this point, the system's basically installed. I'm going to open it and put the filter on. Filter screws in from the bottom, and then the canister slides up over it, and you just close the lid over on top of it. Just giving you another angle of that. At this point in time, it's basically installed. I'm going to plug it in, and the goal is to turn water back on and just make sure that water doesn't leak. Just testing to make sure I have water back in the house. Everything looks good. At this point in time, the system's basically installed. The only thing left to do is to set up the app.